Holidays-nale அது நம்ம GT Holidays தான். South India's #1 travel brand. Taste Daily. Taste the Daily.
Hello Raj garu.
Oh, hey.
Welcome to Galatta, Telugu. So guys, మనతో పాటు ఇప్పుడు ఉన్నది రాజ్ రాచకొండ గారు. He is the director of మల్లేశం అండ్ 8 AM Metro. రెండు చాలా 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 మంచి సినిమాలు. మీరు ప్రాపర్ అంటే మా ఇంటర్వ్యూస్ చూసేది ఆ సినీ ఫైల్స్ వాళ్ళందరూ ఉంటారు కాబట్టి మీలో ఆల్రెడీ కొంతమంది చూసుంటారు, బట్ చూడకపోతే దయచేసి చూడండి. బ్యూటిఫుల్ ఫిల్మ్స్. సార్ మల్లేశం ఈజ్ ఆన్ సన్ నెక్స్ట్. మల్లేశం సన్ నెక్స్ట్ ఉంది 8 AM Metro Z5 అండ్ ఇట్స్ అవైలబుల్ ఆన్ యూట్యూబ్ ఆల్సో ఫర్ ఫ్రీ. సో దయచేసి చూడండి.
5 years contract Netflix had.
Okay.
I think behind the scenes it went to Sun Next after that is what I think.
ఓకే. సో మీ కేసు నాకు చాలా క్యూరియస్గా అనిపిస్తుంది. మీరు ఇంకా యూఎస్లోనే ఉంటున్నారు.
యూఎస్
ఇక్కడికి వచ్చి సినిమాలు తీసి అక్కడికి వెళ్ళిపోతారా?
ఇక్కడికి వచ్చి సినిమాలలో డబ్బులు పోగొట్టుకొని మళ్ళీ మళ్ళీ రెగ్యులర్ జాబ్ చేయడానికి మళ్ళీ వెళ్తున్నా. సో దెన్ ఐఎమ్ సేవింగ్ ఎ లిటిల్ బిట్, మళ్ళీ సినిమా తీస్తున్నా. అండ్ నౌ ఐమ్ గెటింగ్ స్లైట్లీ ఓల్డర్, సో I don't know what the future holds, but this could be my last film as well.
Hey, come on.
No, it's not easy to make independent films.
Yeah.
Now pandemic తర్వాత అయితే ఇంకెంత కష్టమైపోయింది ఇప్పుడు చిన్న ఫిల్మ్స్. And it's not only just the finance part, right? Finance of course is a major part, కానీ production people don't understand is it's such an important job, right? కొంచెం తెలుగు ఫిల్మ్ ఇండస్ట్రీలో lot of the businessmen and all they become producers just like that, right?
డబ్బులు ఉంటే చాలు ప్రొడ్యూసర్ అయిపోవచ్చు.
అది అవుతుంది. It's a very wrong notion. వాళ్ళు రావద్దు అనట్లేదు. Of course we need more people, right? To encourage young filmmakers, you need more people to come. బట్ దానికి ఫస్ట్ ఒక ఫిల్మ్కి మేబీ వాళ్ళు కొంచెం చిన్న పర్సంటేజ్ నేర్చుకోవాలి ఒక ఫిల్మ్ బిఫోర్ డూయింగ్ ఎ ఫుల్ ఫిల్మ్, సో దట్ ద హోల్ ప్రాసెస్ ఆఫ్ ఇట్, రైట్?
ఫిల్మ్ మేకర్స్ గురించి చెప్తున్నా,
ప్రొడ్యూసర్స్.
ఓకే ఓకే.
సో దట్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్ ఇస్ లైక్ సచ్ ఏ డిఫికల్ట్ టాస్క్, రైట్? అండ్ ఇప్పుడు తీయబోతున్న ఫిల్మ్ కూడా ఐ సర్చ్ ఫర్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ ప్రొడ్యూసర్స్ బికాస్ ఇట్స్ నాట్ జస్ట్ ఫర్ ద మనీ, రైట్? మంచి ప్రొడ్యూసర్స్ అయితే దే హెల్ప్ యూ విత్ సెట్టింగ్ అప్ ద టీమ్ యాజ్ వెల్, రైట్? ఇప్పుడు దీనికి మంచి రైటర్స్ ఎవరు అవుతారు దగ్గర నుంచి క్రూ, క్యాస్ట్, లొకేషన్స్ దగ్గరికి ఎవరిని పెడితే బెటర్ ఏంటి, దెర్ ఇస్ సో మచ్ ఆఫ్ స్ట్రెస్ ద ప్రొడ్యూసర్ టేక్స్. అండ్ సో దీనికి కూడా చాలా ట్రై చేశాను సో దట్ ఐ క్యాన్ లిటిల్ బిట్ ఫోకస్ a little bit more on the direction part,
craft,
but it did not work out, so I thought
దీనికి
కూడా I tried a lot
Spirit Media logo అయితే కనిపించింది మాకు పోస్ట్.
they are helping me with now the whole release and everything.
Okay but making
which is a huge thing again. So that's a huge favor. But even during the production, if some support is there, then you can focus on the filmmaking part because so it becomes so stressful to do all of it together, right? So chinna cinemalu unde problems and doing it all together it's difficult. But then there is one advantage too where manaki exactly ఎలా ఇష్టమో అలా చేసుకోవచ్చు. That's the advantage.
Freedom.
There's a lot of freedom and there's a cost to it, but there is a freedom కూడా ఉంది.
సో 2007లో ఒక తమిళ మూవీ ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేశారు,
రాసన్ కూడా అది I wrote and even then I did not want to produce it. I'm very clear that okay, hard work part of the producer I can do, but I don't have one skill set of a producer where the basic thought of a producer is okay, I'll put X money and maybe I'll get Y money, right? So that's the thought. So only then at least you have that skill set. సో నాకు అప్పుడు లేదు, ఇప్పుడు ఇన్ని సంవత్సరాల తర్వాత కూడా లేదు. సో I'm the wrong person to produce it. But out of compulsion I'm doing it. కానీ నా అలాంటి వాళ్ళు అస్సలు సో అప్పుడు కూడా చేద్దామని వెళ్ళలేదు. అప్పుడు కూడా ఏంటంటే I was working, పని చేస్తున్నప్పుడు తమిళ్ ఫ్రెండ్ ఉండేవాడు. అన్నాడు నాకు ఒక ఫ్రెండ్, నా ఇంజనీరింగ్ క్లాస్మేట్ ఉన్నాడు.
వాట్స్ ద ఫిల్మ్ కాల్డ్?
సిల్లెరంగిల్ స్మాల్ ఫిల్మ్.
అది ఎక్కడ IMDb లో
అది నేనేం ఎక్కడ పెద్ద చెప్పుకోను కూడా. ఐ మీన్ ఇట్ వాస్ ఎ డీసెంట్లీ మేడ్ ఫిల్మ్, రివ్యూస్ కూడా బాగానే ఉన్నాయి, బట్ ఐ మీన్ లైక్ ఆల్ ద అదర్ ఫిల్మ్స్ టు ఇట్ వాస్ ఎ ఫైనాన్షియల్ డిజాస్టర్.
యువర్ తమిళ్ ఫ్రెండ్
అతను ఒక అతను ఉన్నాడు అంటే, అరే నాకు చిన్న స్క్రిప్ట్ ఉంది, బట్ lot of people even now, right, they have a script but they don't know how to go forward, right? But these days at least you have internet, you have YouTube, ఇంకా అప్పుడైతే ఇంకా కష్టం కదా. And then అప్పుడు everything was real. So see ఇప్పుడు now like even your crew, they can go and make a film outside. I mean ఈ కెమెరాస్ ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడే ఒక సెట్ పెట్టుకొని దీంట్లోనే మనం మాట్లాడుతున్నాం, ఒక చిన్న ఫిల్మ్ అవ్వచ్చు. బట్ అప్పుడు ఎంట్రీ బ్యారియర్ చాలా కష్టం 2006-07 టైంలో. ఎందుకంటే మీకు ఇప్పుడు కెమెరా టెస్ట్ చేయడానికి ఎవరు ఇస్తారు? షార్ట్ ఫిల్మ్ తీయాలి, ఎందుకు ఇస్తారు అది? బికాస్ ద మ్యాగజైన్, ఐ మీన్ ఇట్ కాస్ట్ మనీ, రైట్? అప్పుడు ఐ డోంట్ నో హౌ మెనీ పీపుల్ రిమెంబర్ 2006-07 వరకు కొంచెం ఫొటోస్ వరకు డిజిటల్ వచ్చేసింది, రైట్? బట్ రిమెంబర్ 90s, 80s, 90s మనం ఫోటో ఎవరి దగ్గర కెమెరాసే తక్కువ ఉండేవి ఆ టైంలో. ఉన్నా దే యూస్ టు కౌంట్ 23 వచ్చిందా, 24, అండ్ దెర్ యూస్ టు బి లిమిట్, రైట్, ఎనీ ఫొటోస్ అని. సో ఎవ్రీ ఫోటో వాస్ లైక్ యూ క్యాన్ టేక్ అన్లిమిటెడ్. సో దిస్ సేమ్ థియరీ గోస్ టు మేకింగ్ ఫిల్మ్స్ ఆన్ రీల్. సో ఇప్పుడు ఎందుకు ఇస్తారు ఎవరైనా? ఈవెన్ దోస్ డేస్ it was, I don't remember the cost, but the camera was 1 crore or something. సో ఇప్పుడు నీకు ఒక ఏడీ కావాలి, సో యూ వాంట్ మేక్ షార్ట్ ఫిల్మ్, ఎందుకు ఇస్తారు కెమెరా? సరే ఎవరో ఒకరు ఖాళీగా ఉందని ఎవరో ఫ్రెండ్ సరే తీసేసుకోవాలని అన్నారు అనుకుందాం, బట్ ద రీల్స్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్ విల్ కాస్ట్. సో మ్యాగజైన్ ఎవరు ఇస్తారు, ఎందుకు ఇస్తారు? దెన్ వెళ్ళి మళ్ళీ ల్యాబ్లో వెళ్ళి యూ హ్యావ్ టు ప్రాసెస్ ఇట్. సో ద ఎంట్రీ బ్యారియర్ ఎక్సెప్ట్ ద ఫిల్మ్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ పీపుల్, FTI పూణే లాంటి వాళ్ళు, వాళ్ళకే ఒక ల్యాబ్ ఉండేది, వాళ్ళకే కెమెరా ఉండేది, ఇట్లాంటి కొన్ని ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్స్ తప్ప ద రెగ్యులర్ థింగ్ వాస్ ఎవరి కింద పని చేయాలి, సినిమాటోగ్రాఫర్ అవ్వాలి అని అంటే సినిమాటోగ్రాఫర్ కింద 10 years అలా పనిచేసేవాళ్ళు. ఎప్పుడో ఒకసారి చిన్న చిన్న ఛాన్సెస్ తీసుకొని సినిమాటోగ్రాఫర్స్ అయ్యారు వాళ్ళందరూ.
ఇప్పుడు ఉండే వాళ్ళందరూ అట్లా.
ఇప్పుడే అది బ్యారియర్, ఎంట్రీ బ్యారియర్ లేదు కదా. సో డైరెక్టర్స్ కూడా అంతే, అసిస్టెంట్ డైరెక్టర్స్ నుంచి ఇది కావాలి. సో అప్పుడు ఇంకా ఎంట్రీ బ్యారియర్ ఇంకా కష్టం కాబట్టి, సో అది తెలియదు ఎట్లా ఏం చేయాలి అని, ఎవరిని అడగాలి, ఇప్పుడు ఈ స్క్రిప్ట్ చేయాలి అంటే. సో దట్స్ ఓకే మనమే చేద్దాం. అండ్ అప్పుడు ఇప్పుడు కూడా ఐ డోంట్ నో, ఇప్పుడు కొత్త వాళ్ళు వస్తే వాట్స్ ద కల్చర్, ఐ డోంట్ నో కరెంట్లీ. మేబీ ఇట్స్ నాట్ దాట్ ప్రాబ్లమాటిక్.
అంటే ఇప్పుడు సినిమా తీయడం ఈజీ, కానీ అది స్టాండ్ అవుట్ అవ్వడం కష్టం అని నాకు అనిపిస్తుంది.
ఇప్పుడు కూడా నేను అనుకోవడం కొంచెం ప్రాసెస్ వైజ్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ న్యూ ప్రొడ్యూసర్స్ వస్తాయి. బికాస్ యాజ్ ఎ సెడ్ ద బెస్ట్ వే ఈజ్ చిన్నగా 5% 10% ఇంకొక ఫిల్మ్లో నేర్చుకొని రావడం ఈజ్ ద రైట్ వే ఐ థింక్. ఎందుకంటే దే హ్యావ్ టు లెర్న్ ఎ లిటిల్ బిట్. అసలు స్క్రిప్ట్ ప్రొడ్యూసర్ డజంట్ హ్యావ్ టు రైట్ ద స్క్రిప్ట్, కానీ కొంచెం అసలు ఇప్పుడు ఒక నరేషన్ వస్తే దాన్ని ఎలా అనాలిసిస్ చేసేయాలి, నాలెడ్జ్ కొంచెం సంపాదించుకోవాలి. అండ్ కొంచెం ప్రీ ప్రొడక్షన్, మనం దీని ప్లాన్ ఎట్లా చేయాలి ఏంటి. యూ క్యాన్ జస్ట్ డిపెండ్ ఆన్ ఓకే వాళ్ళు మేనేజర్ చేసేస్తారు. యూ హ్యావ్ టు హ్యావ్ సమ్ ఐడియా ఆఫ్ హౌ ఎవరిని క్యాస్ట్ చేయాలి, ఎందుకు చేయాలి, ఇవన్నీ కొంచెం నేర్చుకొని సెకండ్ చేస్తే ఎప్పుడైనా బెటర్గా. బట్ ఇప్పుడు కూడా సపోజ్ ఇఫ్ సమ్మన్ సేస్ నాకు దగ్గర ఇంత బడ్జెట్ ఉంది దీనిలో చేయాలి అని అంటే కుదురుతాయి అంటే ఈవెన్ నౌ కొంచెం హ్యాపీసాడే ఉంటుంది, ర్యాండమ్గా వెళ్ళిపోతుంటాయి అండ్ ఆల్ దాట్. అప్పుడు ఇంకా ఎక్కువ ఉండేది ఇండస్ట్రీ. ఐ మీన్ ఇట్ వాస్ యూనియన్స్ అండ్ ఆల్ దాట్. ఇట్ వాస్ వెరీ డిఫికల్ట్ అండ్ దెర్ యూస్ టు బి ప్రొడక్షన్ మేనేజర్స్ అండ్ లాంగ్వేజ్ వాస్ ఎ బ్యారియర్. అండ్ ఆ టైంలలో కూడా ఐ మీన్ వన్స్ యూ ఆర్ ఇన్ ద మిడిల్, నౌ యూ కెనాట్ కమ్ అవుట్, యూ కెనాట్ stop making it. What will you do? I mean, let's say you have X budget, sagamlo అయిపోయింది, now you can't back out, right? So those problems were there. But అవి కొన్ని అవి ఇప్పుడు కూడా ఉండొచ్చు నేను అనుకోవడం చాలా మందికి, లైక్ ఫిల్మ్స్ దట్ గో అన్ఫినిష్డ్, రైట్?
చాలా ఎన్ని ఫిల్మ్స్ రిలీజ్ అంటే చెప్తారు కదా, సెన్సార్ అయిన మూవీస్ ఇన్ని ఉన్నాయి కానీ రిలీజ్ అయినా దాంట్లో సమ్ 40% 50%. వెరీ సాడ్ థింగ్. అదైతే ఉంది ఇంకా.
But something, see every film That's why I tell my team as well, right? Given a chance, they have to be on a film set, no matter what, in what position, because something you learn from it. Even from our failed attempts, it will help you to not do those mistakes, and you learn something or the other.
మీరు కూడా ప్రొడక్షన్ అసిస్టెంట్ గా చేశారంట కదా షార్ట్ ఫిల్మ్స్ కి.
అది యా యు రైట్, అది లాంగ్ బ్యాక్. అది దట్ వాస్ 2000.
ఓకే ఓకే ఓకే,
దట్ వాస్ 2000. అప్పుడు బే ఏరియాలో ఉన్నప్పుడు దే యూస్ టు బి. ఇప్పుడు తర్వాత మనకి ఇక్కడ వచ్చింది షార్ట్ ఫిల్మ్ కల్చర్, రైట్? అప్పుడు 2000 దానికన్నా ముందు కూడా అక్కడ ఉండేవి. సో అప్పుడు చిన్న క్యానన్ XL1S అనే 3CCD కెమెరాస్ ఇవి వచ్చినాయి, 2000 అనుకుంటా. సో దట్ వాస్ ద ఫస్ట్ 3CCD కెమెరా. అది చిన్నవి అవన్నీ, బట్ దోస్ వర్ ఎక్స్పెన్సివ్. ఈవెన్ దెన్ $4,000 అలా ఉండేవి అవి. ఇట్స్ ప్రాబ్లీ నౌ అరౌండ్ $30,000-40,000. సో అప్పుడు రాగానే ఇట్లా చిన్న వాళ్ళు చేసుకునేవాళ్ళు. సో మోర్ లైక్ అన్ అసిస్టెంట్ టు బ్రింగ్ లంచ్ అండ్ ఆల్, జస్ట్ టు సీ హౌ దే ఆర్ మేకింగ్ ఇట్. ఇంకొక చిన్న ఎడిటర్ ఉండే అతను, హీ హ్యాడ్ ఎ కార్పల్ టనల్, సో హీ క్యాన్ టైప్. సో జస్ట్ కమాండ్స్ చెప్తే చేయడానికి, జస్ట్ టు సీ హౌ థింగ్స్ వర్క్, రైట్? చాలా చేయలేదు. ఐ విష్ ఐ డిడ్ మోర్, బికాస్ దెన్ ఐ వుడ్ హ్యావ్ లెర్న్డ్ ఎ లిటిల్ బిట్ మోర్. దాని తర్వాత ఇంకా దెన్ I got into the marriage and all that, and then I stopped. Malli film, and then that set me back. Then I said no. I mean it's not that I lost money in the film. It's the experience. Once it's bitter, I mean, you trust a lot of people that they say they'll help you out, and then you see you can't trust anyone. And I'm like, how can you make a film when you can't trust anyone? And then the experience was bitter. Then I said no, I'm not making again anymore. It's always ఒకసారి అనుకున్నాం చేసాము, that's good enough అనుకున్నా. And then again the whole Malaysian journey and all happened, and I'm quite happy with it. But let's say even if I would not have made Malaysian, I think I would have been I would have consoled myself that I wanted to try once. I did. That's good enough.
Now I will say you have achieved.
At least
పెట్టేశారు ఒక లైబ్రరీలో ఒకటి ఉంది, మలేషియా మూవీ విల్ బి దేర్.
That I got lucky with it. It was an honest attempt. There were no gimmicks or okay itla chesta atlana. It just came out of the heart, simple, and the actors, everyone, we just made without any it cheste idavutada adavutada anukokunda, however the story unraveled, we just did it that way, without calculating or idi bedte adavutada adi bedte idavutada oka item song atla emi ala. So it was just purely
చాలా ఇష్టం సార్. అంటే ఒకరు వచ్చి నాకు ఈ కథ చెప్పాలని ఉంది, సో నేను ఈ కథ చెప్తున్నా, ఆ ఇంటెన్షన్ ఉంది కదా, అది చాలా ప్యూర్ గా అనిపిస్తుంది. అంటే నాకు ఈమెను తీసుకొస్తే మనకి ఇంత బడ్జెట్ ఎక్స్ట్రా వస్తుందేమో, లైక్ ఈ యాక్టర్ని కాస్ట్ చేస్తే ఇంత విజిబిలిటీ వస్తుందేమో, లేకపోతే ఇద్దరిని తీసుకొస్తే హిందీ రైట్స్కి ఇంతకు అమ్మచ్చు, అవి అలాంటివి ఏం లేకుండా జస్ట్ నేను ఈ కథ చెప్పాలి, జస్ట్ నేను సినిమా తీయాలి అనుకోవడం ఇట్స్ బ్యూటిఫుల్. దట్ డజంట్ హ్యాపెన్, అది జరగదు అంత ఆఫెన్ గా.
అది see it also tough for me to analyze myself. అంటే అప్పుడు ముందు మూవీ తర్వాత నేనేమనుకున్నానంటే, whatever little I'll put in this film, I might lose everything because I have the experience, so this can happen again. Right? Small films, you have to tell yourself, right? I mean, it might be a utter flop, and no one might watch it, and so then you have to select your target audience. ఇప్పుడు పర్సనల్లీ నేనేమనుకుంటున్నా అంటే, సమ్ పీపుల్ విల్ సే కాదు నేను నా కోసమే తీసుకుంటా అని, అండ్ నథింగ్ రాంగ్ ఇన్ ఇట్, బట్ ఐ పర్సనల్లీ థింక్ దట్స్ నెవర్ ట్రూ. ఎందుకంటే ఇప్పుడు నాకు ఒక్కడికే తీసుకోవాలి అని అంటే నేను తీసేసుకొని నా ఇంట్లోనే చూసుకుంటా కదా, దెన్ ఐ డోంట్ వాంట్ పీపుల్ టు
వాలిడేషన్.
నాకెందుకు, నేను నా కోసమే తీసుకోవాలంటే నేను నా ఇష్టం వచ్చినట్టు తీసుకొని నా ఇంట్లో పెట్టుకొని నేను చూసుకుంటా, రైట్? బట్ generally, I mean, I'm not saying there's a right way or wrong way. We kind of know who the target audience is, right? మనం ఏమనుకుంటాం అంటే దీనికి ఎవరు టార్గెట్ ఆడియన్స్, దీని నుంచి ఇంకా కొంచెం వైడర్ అవుతే చాలా సంతోషం.
ఇది మీరు 8 AM మెట్రోకి చాలా క్లియర్ గా చెప్పారు. ఎవరు టార్గెట్ ఆడియన్స్ అంటే 30s లో ఉండే వాళ్ళే, అబౌవ్ 30s.
So that I I generally make sure that the trailer is honest and we tell, right, this is what the film is going to be.
Again, not to interrupt but to give context to the audience, మల్లేశం ట్రైలర్ మీద 3 months వర్క్ చేశారంట.
It was very trailer is actually tougher to cut than a film. Because there is no one way of cutting it, right? But కొంచెం వరకు ఆడియన్స్కి ప్రిపేర్ చేస్తే బెటర్. లైక్ ఫర్ హూమ్. ఇప్పుడు మలేషియం అప్పుడు ఏమనుకున్నానంటే, లైక్ లెట్స్ సే I failed in a project, so this was inspiring for me. The talk was inspiring for me, not for
The TED Talk.
TED Talk was inspiring for me. I'm like, a guy who failed 6th grade is able to persist for 6 years or 7 years. And I gave up after one attempt. Maybe I can give another attempt. So it was very inspiring for me. So I thought, like, for the target audience actually were like kids who failed 10th grade, 12th grade.
Perfect. Yeah.
That was my target audience. Because they can say, yeah, it's okay. I mean, I failed 10th, but maybe I'll do some business or I'll do something else. I mean, I'll try again 10th or something. Or 6-7 times I'll try.
Yeah.
So that's all. That was the target audience.
అదే మల్లేశంలో నాకు లైక్ మూవీ మొత్తం హీ కీప్స్ ఫెయిలింగ్, నో. లైక్ ఇక్కడ గెలుస్తాడు అనుకుంటాము, మేబీ హీ సక్సీడ్ హియర్ అనుకుంటాం, అవడు. లాస్ట్ లో కూడా వెన్ హీ మెషిన్ క్రియేట్ అంతా అయిపోయింది, ఆన్ కూడా అవ్వదు కదా, వెంటనే ఆన్ అవ్వదు కదా. ఆన్ అవ్వడానికి కూడా అక్కడ కూడా అరే మళ్ళీ ఫెయిల్యూర్ ఉంటుందేమో అనే రేంజ్ కి audience ni you do that, like failure.
And I used to see like all this news, like when I was a kid, the handloom industry, because when the power loom came, these guys were like all suicides and all that stuff. Not in the place where I did. I mean, I joined somewhere else, some another region. In this one I tied all of them together because that's what I heard and everything. Suicide were not too many in Pochampalli, but they were in Sirsilla and other places. But that's what filmmakers are, right? You got to tie different whatever you know, combine them
with reality.
Correct. And then your own experiences, right? And then maybe ఇంకా కొంతమంది ఇప్పుడు అదే, I mean, lot of times in a newspaper you read a family, the whole family commits suicide for financial reasons or something,
and it's just a news piece that breaks my heart.
And imagine what they will be going through. I mean, and it can affect any of us. One small business thing here and there, or health thing and all, and maybe just a little bit more time, maybe they can come out of it. But tough to tell, because all of us can have a breaking point. So ఇంకా సరే, అడల్ట్స్లోనే ఇంత టఫ్ డెసిషన్స్ ఉండి దెన్ దే విల్ టేక్ ఎ డెసిషన్ టు కిల్ దెమ్సెల్వ్స్, దేర్ ఫ్యామిలీ. ఇమాజిన్ టీన్స్. అప్పుడైతే ఇంకా 7th, ఇప్పుడు ఐ డోంట్ నో, ఇప్పుడు 7th బోర్డ్ అనేది ఉంటుంది, అప్పుడు 7th కూడా ఉండేది ఒకటి. అండ్ దెన్ 10th వాస్ ఎ క్రూషియల్ థింగ్, 12th వాస్ ఎ క్రూషియల్ థింగ్. Imagine the stress that the kids have to go through. So that was the target audience actually. Maybe another chance you can do, second time, third time. Of course you have to learn something from it, right? That's the key. Of course second attempt, third attempt doesn't mean anything if you don't learn anything from it. But that was the target audience. 8 AM ki నాకు ఒక లక్ ఏంటంటే, which other filmmakers don't have, it is I don't have to make a film. I'm not desperate, or అంటే ఒకసారి అప్పుడు చేయాలనుకున్నప్పుడు రైటింగ్ అయిపోయింది, ఐఎమ్ హ్యాపీ విత్ ఇట్. అది తెలియకుండా మలేషియం అయింది, వాట్ ఎవర్ లిటిల్ అక్లైమ్ ఐ గాట్, దట్స్ గుడ్ ఎనఫ్ ఫర్ మీ. సో ఇట్స్ నాట్ లైక్ ఐ హ్యావ్ టు, దట్స్ నాట్ మై బ్రెడ్ అండ్ బటర్, రైట్? ఐఎమ్ ఏ వెరీ ఆర్డినరీ IT programmer. At my age I don't think I know anyone else who codes.
Okay.
And I am hands-on
coder.
programmer.
Okay.
So I myself don't know any of my friends who do that. I mean, they all vertically went very high, right? Like they are like vice presidents of firms and all that. And for me, always this was my preference. Behind the scenes, ఎక్కడో ఉండి మన వర్క్ చేసేసుకుంటే then I can pursue something else. And that
బట్ అది హార్ట్ఫుల్ గానే చేస్తారా?
I love that.
అది ఎంజాయ్ చేస్తూనే చేస్తారు.
Correct. The other aspect of is very difficult for me, where the regular corporate stuff, management and ఏదో team lead వరకు అప్పుడప్పుడు ఇక్కడ ఉన్నప్పుడే, I mean, we were the beginners, right? Like who pretty much started the IT here in Hyderabad, right? So
ఫస్ట్ సెట్.
First set. So అప్పుడు అనుకోకుండా కూడా 21 and all that, I was a project leader, project manager. But I never liked it. It was so difficult. It's a lot stressful to a lot of politics and all that. And I'm not cut out for that. So simple గా నీకు ఇది ఇంకా చేసేసి చేయాలి. That's the
పాలిటిక్స్ ఫిల్మ్ మేకింగ్ లో ఉండవా ఒక సినిమా సెట్?
అంటే నాకు ఉంటుంది, హార్డ్ వర్క్ ఉంటుంది. బట్ నాకు అడ్వాంటేజ్ ఏంటంటే I'm both the producer and the director and all that, right? So of course I have to take everyone's feedback and I have to extract the best out of it. But it's not a continuous this thing, right? A film work and we get a nice crew. There are quite a few challenges. I mean, we'll go into it. But identate day to day, right? Every day, like ఏదో ఉంటుంది, వాళ్ళు లేదు ఇల్లు లేదు, and so I'm not cut out for that. So simple. I go work, and then I don't have to make another film. అదే నాకు ఒక అడ్వాంటేజ్. నెసెసిటీ కాదు. బట్ ఇమాజిన్, ఇప్పుడు ఇంకొక డైరెక్టర్ ఉన్నాడు ఇక్కడ, ఒకటి పర్వాలేదు బాగానే ఉంది, దెన్ దేర్ సో మచ్ ప్రెషర్. ఇప్పుడు ఇంకొకటి తీయాలి, దట్స్ ద బ్రెడ్ అండ్ బటర్. అండ్ దెన్ సమ్ ప్రొడ్యూసర్ హ్యాస్ ఆల్రెడీ గివెన్ యూ ద అడ్వాన్స్. ఇప్పుడు నువ్వు స్క్రిప్ట్ ఇన్ ఏ పర్టికులర్ టైంలోనే రావాలి, ఫినిష్ అయినా కాకపోయినా ఎప్పుడు వెళ్తాం and there will be a pressure from the actors, dates are there, and this luckily I don't have it. So అప్పుడు మలేషియన్ తర్వాత the first thought was very clear. ఏంటంటే the crew I had, core, there is always a core team who support you, right? మా వీళ్ళు లేకపోతే నేను చేయగలేవాడిని కాదు. And all of them wanted to make their films. See, my cinematographer, he's a brilliant cinematographer, Balu, but he wanted to direct a film. And so sound designer, when I was mixing the sound, he wants to do a film. And as an editing consultant, very nice person, he wanted to do a film. Then my acting coach, he so ఇప్పుడు ఒక గ్రాటిట్యూడ్ అయితే ఉండదు వీళ్ళు చేయబట్టింది. అండ్ లెట్స్ మేక్ వన్ ఫర్ దెమ్ ఎవరు అనేది. అండ్ దెన్ వెంకట్ ద ఈపీ, రైట్? సో దెన్ I don't have the, I mean, I can't evaluate the scripts too, right? It's so difficult. And he does it very effortlessly. So then I sent all the 4 to him and said like, oh, Nitin's, I think, might work out. And Nitin, ఇది చేయడానికి ఇంకొక రీజన్, I mean, it was a smaller budget and it was very planned. ఇప్పుడు నాది చాలా తక్కువ ప్లానింగ్ అనుకోవచ్చు, నితిన్ ప్లానింగ్ చూస్తే, I mean, he had everything in place. All he had to do was just to shoot. సో దాంట్లో నేను పెద్దగా కాంట్రిబ్యూట్ చేసింది లేదు, ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఈజ్ హిస్ ఎఫర్ట్. అండ్ ఆ ఫిల్మ్ ఇంకొక డైరెక్టర్ అవుతే, అక్కడ నాలాంటి డైరెక్టర్ అవుతే నితిన్ తీసేసి నేను అంతే చేశాను, ఇంకేనా అంత అవ్వలేదు, యూట్యూబ్లో పెట్టేసుకుంటా అనేవాడిని నేను అవుతాయి నితిన్. బట్ నితిన్ వాస్ నాట్ లైక్ దట్. హీ ఈజ్ లైక్, హీ బిలీవ్డ్ ఇన్ హిస్ ప్రోడక్ట్. 1 year 2 years ఎంతైనా కానీ, I'll send it to the right festivals, I'll bring someone else on board. Then 90% of it is his thing, effort, అన్ని విధాలలో. And then he brought Rakaship, and that's when it went to Toronto. TIFF వెళ్ళింది. I'm not saying it's extraordinary, but for a first time filmmaker, I think it's a very decently, nicely made film. Especially, see, you have to compare సో మెనీ థింగ్స్ రైట్. దానికి ఇచ్చిన బడ్జెట్ చాలా తక్కువలో యాక్టర్స్ వీళ్ళందరి దగ్గర నుంచి చేసి ఎక్స్ట్రాక్ట్ చేసి డీసెంట్లీ మేడ్ ఫిల్మ్. సో అది లక్కీగా అది బయటపడ్డాం. అండ్ దెన్ I was writing a few scripts, but nothing was working out. And then I was with Venkat, and then he just suggested one line from Andamena Jeevitam. I said, "This is brilliant."
Yeah.
And కాకపోతే ఏంటంటే దట్స్ 80s ఇది కదా, we have to slightly customize to the current world. And your different experiences, you have to bring them together కదా. In a line ఒక్కటి దాంట్లో నుంచి, but we paid the rights
Okay.
for the film. ఎందుకంటే see, it's not about how much you inspire from something. It can be just one line, but that's good enough to go at least tell them, take the rights officially.
That's nice. That's ethical. Yeah.
Because that's where the idea came from. At least you have to tell, and then take the rights. And then I requested him, "Sir, a lot of people will not like it to change, but I'll show you. Please see if you can allow me to change it." And he was gracious enough, and some things he did not like to change.
Sir, can you
He
నేను బుక్ చదవలేదు.
correct. So his thing was, the two men in it are nice people. And in the film, the two are nice people, but like all of us, they have their own strengths and flaws. So that's the major change, right? And he said, "No, in my case, the men are nicer." And I agree, there is nothing right or wrong, right? But I would prefer this way, where they're just like us. Like some strengths, some flaws, and that makes it interesting. మనలాంటి వాళ్ళే కదా. So that was a major thing.
Okay.
Sir had a problem, but I still grateful to him for sometimes when you don't agree, but then you still give the permission. That's even a bigger thing for the original idea, whoever had it. So I'll always be grateful to Sir Maladi sir. So but then when I had that thing, the whole pandemic was going on. See, I was thinking, నేను కొంచెం నాకు ఇది ఐడియా ఉంది అని, but then I realized I had no clue about mental health.
Okay.
And but to some extent, COVID made all of us realize what mental health is to some extent. Full అనలేం మనం.
No, అంటే అట్లీస్ట్ మెంటల్ హెల్త్ అనేది ఒకటి ఉంటది అని చాలా మందికి పరిచయం చేసింది అయితే కోవిడ్.
పరిచయం మన దానికన్నా ముందు ఉండొచ్చు, బట్ ఎంపథైజ్ చేయడానికి మాత్రం అది యూజ్ అయింది.
చాలా మందికి తెలియదని నేను ఫీల్ అయ్యేవాడిని. తెలియని వాళ్ళకి కూడా మెంటల్ హెల్త్ అనేది ఒకటి ఉంటది అని తెలిసేలాగా
ప్లస్ అందరూ కొంచెం అనుభవించారు. అంటే నాట్ టు దట్ ఎక్స్టెంట్. వి కెనాట్ సే మనం యాక్చువల్ ఇప్పుడు మెంటల్ హెల్త్ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్తో ఫేస్ చేసే వాళ్ళలాగా అంత మనం ఎంపథైజ్ ఫుల్గా అండర్స్టాండ్ చేసుకుంటాం అని కాదు, కానీ ఎవ్రీవన్ వెంట్ త్రూ ఇట్. వై ఎవ్రీవన్ వెంట్ త్రూ ఇట్ ఈస్ దెర్ వాస్ నో సొల్యూషన్ దేర్. ఫస్ట్ ఏదో వెళ్ళిపోతుంది 1 month, దెన్ పీపుల్ ఆర్ లైక్ ఓకే జాబ్స్ వెళ్ళిపోతున్నాయి, లైవ్లీహుడ్లు ఉండట్లేదు, డబ్బులు ఉండట్లేదు, ద స్ట్రెస్ వాస్ బిల్డింగ్ అప్, రిలేషన్షిప్స్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్. సో మనకు అంతవరకు కాకపోయినా to some extent, our degree depending on condition, but all of us have experienced it. The whole world has experienced it. Uncertainty. Anta level of uncertainty of it could be for 1 year, 2 years, that nowhere in our lifetimes we have watched. War na aduna కొన్ని రోజులు అది ఏదైనా వెళ్ళి వీసాలా అది అయిపోయింది అనేది మనకు కూడా ఏదైనా వచ్చినప్పుడు 1 month sickness అది, but not the whole world facing it. It was a very tough time for all of us. So, and then one of my friend told me, I have to give credit to my friend because he didn't shy away from telling how does it feel. See, frankly, if I were him, maybe I would have kept it to myself. ఎందుకు అందరు ఏమో అంటారు, జడ్జ్ చేస్తారు. ప్లస్ ఇప్పుడు నాకు చెప్తే of course I'm like, wow, I mean, it is this intense. But I'm glad he did. ఎందుకంటే నలుగురికి తెలుస్తుంది కదా, and they might think they are not alone. And whoever hears it again, will be able to empathize. Oh my goodness, this is how they feel. చెప్పకపోతే ఏమవుతుంది, ఎవరికి తెలియదు. సో ఐ క్రెడిట్ ఇట్ టు మై ఫ్రెండ్.
Okay.
And who was very open. I mean, he's a, yeah, I mean, I really appreciate my friend who just speaks his mind. There is no filter. And I don't think I would have done that. He, చెప్తాను, he's like, when the first time when he got the panic attack, no reason. No reason. Fitbit the పెట్టుకున్నాడు, and that was showing like 180, 190 and all that. Why? There is no reason. He thought it's a heart attack. Then he went to the doctor. They checked it and said, ఇది కాదు, దీన్ని ఓకే, ఇది ప్యానిక్ అటాక్ అంటారు అని. Then he had to come to India. And he did not want to come. అప్పుడు వరకు ఫ్లైట్స్ అతని ప్రాబ్లం లేదు. And for 1 year, he pushed, but mom was unwell or something like that, but he had to come. So he practiced 1 month just going to the airport.
My God. Okay.
So his wife, like they'll rehearse, like his wife will take him to the airport as if he'll board a flight, and then they go back home. Every day for a month they do this. See, out of nowhere something comes, and then now the panic. What if it comes? What if it comes? No history, nothing. Imagine like a grown-up guy going through this trauma, and then he goes and sits into the flight. So what does he go through? What's the pressure? That's when he told, let's add something to this actor. That's where the character, the same thing came. So it's and then I had to work with a lot of these psychiatrists and psychologists. Both are important, because sometimes these kind of subjects, it's better not to make them if you don't research properly.
Exactly.
Because it will be a disservice to the community, the psychologists, psychiatrists and all that.
And the very idea of mental health.
సో కొన్నిట్లలో ఏ చూపించిన ఎంటర్టైన్మెంట్ అవన్నీ నడిచిపోతుంది, కొంతమంది ఫిలిం కదా అని అనుకుంటా.
ఘోరంగా ఉంటుంది మన మెంటల్ హెల్త్ రిప్రజెంట్, ఘోరంగా ఉంటుంది కొన్నిట్లో అయితే.
సో దెన్ ఇట్ విల్ చేయకపోతే బెటర్, చేస్తే అట్లీస్ట్ మ్యాక్సిమం, అంటే సి all of us can fail in spite of our best intentions, but at least that hard work should be there in the research. I mean, you got to show it to all these people and say, did I get it right? So our research plus CD and my friend helping out, and then another friend who was associated with the project. Then they, oh yeah, this is how I feel. Then they tell you. So all these things put together, it happened. So appudu, see, I knew the target audience, right? If target audience was like about 30-35 of relationships who have seen little bit of life, right? And then who like poetry or literature, okay? And then who have some interest to watch just two people talking, right? And it's not everyone's cup of tea, right? ఈ సుత్తేం టీవీలో ఏం మాట్లాడుకుంటున్నారు, ఎందుకు మాట్లాడుకుంటున్నారు, nothing wrong in that. But some people will like conversational these things. Oh, I want to see like what these guys will talk. Right wrong ఏం ఉంటుంది, like it's like interest, right? So but మనం ఫస్ట్ ఒక టార్గెట్ ఆడియన్స్ అయితే పెట్టుకోవాలి కదా. ఇది ఈ కొంతమంది కాన్వర్జేషనల్ ఫిల్మ్స్ నచ్చేవాళ్ళు, లిటరేచర్ పోయిటరీ నచ్చేవాళ్ళు, ఇంకా మెంటల్ హెల్త్ ఇట్లాంటివి, రిలేషన్షిప్స్ గురించి కొంచెం, ఐ మీన్ హౌ టఫ్ రిలేషన్షిప్స్ ఆర్ దీస్ డేస్, ఈ అన్ని ఇది మనకి వీటితో ఐడెంటిఫై అయ్యే వాళ్ళు, దిస్ ఈస్ ద లక్ అంతే. ఇంక దాని తర్వాత లక్ మనకి అప్పుడప్పుడు మన టార్గెట్ ఆడియన్స్ కూడా రీచ్ కాలేకపోతాం, అప్పుడప్పుడు ఇట్ కెన్ గో స్లైట్లీ వైడర్, and it's a timing, and these days it's all marketing. But one thing I with all these films, four films, and now the fifth one is coming, one thing I realized is, with marketing and all that, the film can have a much wider base, and immediately during the release people will watch it. But if the content is good, You might not make money, that's a different story. The finances is a different thing. But మనం కొంచెం మంచి కష్టపడి చేస్తే అనుకున్న టార్గెట్ ఆడియన్స్కి అయితే రీచ్ అవుతుంది. టైం పట్టొచ్చు, 1 year పట్టొచ్చు, 2 years పట్టొచ్చు. అందుకని ఇప్పుడు 8 AMకి ఇట్ హ్యాస్ ఎ వెరీ స్మాల్ టార్గెట్ ఆడియన్స్, బట్ సమ్ గై విల్ గో అండ్ పుట్ ఇట్ ఇన్ ఇన్స్టాగ్రామ్, నేను చూసాను సంథింగ్, అండ్ దెన్ అనదర్ 10 people విల్ గో, బట్ ఇట్ విల్ టేక్ లాంగ్ టైమ్.
రీల్స్ సర్క్యులేట్ అవుతూ ఉంటాయి,
రీసర్క్యులేట్ అయ్యి 1-2 yearsకి someone will go and watch it. So it will not go unnoticed. And I mean, I'm not trying to discourage.
So basically instant gratification undakapovachu,
but it will reach. But it might not reach too much. I mean, because I mean, all of us have to agree that marketing plays a role. Maybe amplify kaakapochu into 10 times so edo, but basic matram chustaru. Ante because lot of times మనం we can console ourselves saying that కాదు మంచి సినిమా ఎవరు చూడలేదు అది ఇది అనుకుంటాం, బట్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ టైమ్స్ there are some flaws in it also, why it doesn't reach a wider audience. బట్ అట్లీస్ట్ మనం కొంచెం ఇంతే అని అనుకుంటే అంతవరకు రీచ్ అయ్యే ఛాన్సెస్ ఎక్కువ ఉంటాయి, బికాస్ దీస్ డేస్ ద మీడియం ఈస్ దేర్. అఫ్ కోర్స్ ద మనీ ఈస్ అ డిఫరెంట్, ఫైనాన్సెస్ and your intended audience, that's a different. Because you can put your film on YouTube, you might not earn money, but then you wanted it to reach some this thing, right? So that you should be clear who is the target audience. And so Malaysia, as I said, like a 10th failed guy or 12th failed guy who feels happy about it, that's all I cared about. And 8 AM was about like, hey, someone is having a tough day, they feel slightly nice and they'll feel like as if like they're communicating with me, that's good enough for me, that's the target audience. Inkenta ostadi manaku bonus anukunta. And 8 AM so many personal messages come. నేను సోషల్ మీడియాలో లేను కాబట్టి నాకు ఎక్కువ రావు. మోర్ ఆఫ్ దెమ్ గో టు గుల్షన్ అండ్ సయామి, సో ఇంటిమేట్ డీటెయిల్స్ దే విల్ షేర్. సో that's kind of we reached the target audience that we intended. And ఇప్పుడు తీసేది 23, it's దాని
పేరు 23.
Oh sorry, I forgot about it. These days you have to go.
No, we'll cut it. So started from ఇప్పుడు తీసేది అని this part.
The part of just before the title we can put it, so that how silly I am, and
or I'll mute.
That's a silly funny thing, right? So ఇప్పుడు ఇప్పుడు నేను this is based on true incidents, right? And
it's a courtroom drama.
Not too much.
Okay.
Not too much about courtroom, but there is a little bit of courtroom. కాకపోతే మెయిన్గా ఇప్పుడు ఒక నాకు డైరెక్ట్లీ ఆర్ ఇండైరెక్ట్లీ there is some element of books in the film, because it's not that I have a lot of knowledge about books, it's not that. But even the few I have read made me realize the most important thing is, to some extent, maybe none of us can become perfect at it. It helps us to understand when we read the characters that everyone is correct from their own point of view. అది మాటలలో ఎంతైనా చెప్పచ్చు మనం. ఇట్స్ నాట్ దట్ మనం ముందు మనకి ఎవరో చెప్పుంటారు కదా, బట్ అది ఎక్కదు కదా టైంకి. ఐ మీన్ ఇట్ నీడ్స్ అ మెచ్యూరిటీ, ఇట్ నీడ్స్ టైం పడుతుంది. కొంతమందికి తొందరగా, కొంతమందికి టైం పట్టవచ్చు, బట్ ఇట్స్ నాట్ ఈజీ. చెప్పేస్తే అది చెప్పడము టు అండర్స్టాండ్ దెర్ ఇస్ అ లాట్ ఆఫ్ డిఫరెన్స్, రైట్? రీచ్నెస్ తోటి ఏమవుతుంది, ఏమి అవ్వవు. బట్ ద బుక్స్ విల్ ఇండైరెక్ట్లీ మేక్ యూ రియలైజ్ దాట్, నాట్ డైరెక్ట్లీ. ఐ మీన్ ఓ మై గుడ్నెస్, వీడు ఇట్లా చేస్తున్నాడా. ఎందుకంటే బుక్స్లో you have the liberty, the writer has the liberty to take you there. Plenty of time, right? Like పేజెస్ ఉన్నాయి. ఇక్కడ మనం ఇప్పుడు ఫిల్మ్స్లో ఏంటి, కొంచెం ఇటు కాగానే ల్యాగ్ వచ్చింది. బుక్స్ ఈస్ లైక్ వేర్ దే కెన్ టేక్ అస్. వాడు ఏమనుకుంటున్నాడు, ఎట్లా అనుకుంటున్నాడు. సో ఇట్ హెల్ప్స్ అస్ టు బి స్లైట్లీ లెస్ జడ్జ్మెంటల్. నాట్ దట్ ఓకే మనం సూపర్గా అంత అండర్స్టాండింగ్ అయిపోతుంది. మనం ముందు కన్నా slightly will become better. ఈ క్యారెక్టర్ని చూసిన తర్వాత వై దే డిడ్ వాట్ దే డిడ్, ఓ ఇట్లా సర్కమ్స్టాన్సెస్ ఇట్లా చేసాడు అట్లా చేసాడు. సో కొన్ని చదివినా కూడా ఐ మీన్ దట్స్ వాట్ ఐ లెర్న్ ఫ్రమ్ ఇట్ మెయిన్లీ. సో ఐ ట్రై టు సమ్హౌ, నాకు తెలియకుండానే అది వచ్చేస్తుంది. సో ఇక్కడ టీన్స్ వరకు మెజారిటీ మనం అనుకుంటాం వీఆర్ మేకింగ్ సమ్ డెసిషన్స్ ఆర్ వీఆర్ ఫార్మింగ్ అన్ ఒపీనియన్ ఆన్ సంథింగ్ బేస్డ్ ఆన్ మన ఓన్ ఒక థాట్ ప్రాసెస్తో చేస్తున్నాం అనుకుంటాం. బట్ ఇట్స్ ప్యూర్లీ వాట్ ఈస్ ఫెడ్ టు అస్, ఎస్పెషల్లీ టీన్స్ వరకు. ఎందుకంటే ఇంకా మనకు విజ్డమ్ రాదు ఒకటి. రెండోది వాట్స్ ద సొసైటీ టెల్స్ అస్, మన ఇంట్లో ఏం నేర్పించారు, స్కూల్లో ఏం నేర్పించారు, ఎన్వైరన్మెంట్, మీడియా ఏం చెప్పింది, ఫిల్మ్, ఇవన్నిటితో మనం ఒక ఒపీనియన్ ఫామ్ అయింది. అంతేగాని అది మన ఒపీనియన్ కాదు అది. ఇప్పుడు కూడా తక్కువ, బట్ అట్లీస్ట్ టీన్స్లో ఉన్నంత ఒపీనియేటెడ్ కొంచెం తగ్గుతూ పోతుంది. బికాస్ వి సీ లైఫ్ రైట్, వి సీ అవర్ ఓన్ ఫ్లాస్, సో స్లోగా తెలుస్తూ ఉంటాయి కదా. బట్ ఒక ఇన్సిడెంట్, నేను when I was 19, when this incident happened, నా immediate reaction was వీళ్ళని ఉరేయాలి అని అన్నా. I mean that when I look back, it's a different person. See, మనము ఒక పర్టికులర్ టైంలో ఈ థాట్స్ ఇది then we read some books, we have life experiences, we watch world cinema, we meet so many people. స్లోగా మన అభిప్రాయాలు మారుతూ ఉంటాయి. అండ్ దెన్ బోత్ హార్మోనల్ థింగ్స్ ఆల్సో, టీన్స్ హ్యావ్ ఎ డిఫరెంట్ దిస్ థింగ్. తర్వాత సో మెనీ అవర్ ఓన్ థింగ్. అరే బట్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ టైమ్స్ ఐ లుక్ బ్యాక్ అండ్ సే, ఓ హౌ సిలీ వీ వర్ ఇన్ సమ్ ఆఫ్ ద థింగ్స్. బట్ అప్పుడు చెప్పినా మనకు వేస్టే. అప్పుడు ఎవరైనా వచ్చేసి కాదు దిస్ ఈస్ ద రైట్ వే అన్నప్పుడు అంత సుత్తంత ఏంటి అని అనిపిస్తుంది. ఇట్స్ నాట్ దట్ అప్పుడు ఎవరైనా చెప్పేస్తే మనకి ఎన్లైటన్మెంట్. ఇట్స్ అ స్లో ప్రాసెస్ రైట్. So when I look at it now, the same incident, my thoughts are completely different. So that's what I wanted to bring, like how I was. It's not like I'm preaching someone else.
ఒక క్యారెక్టర్ ఆర్క్ బేసికల్లీ.
నేను ఎట్లా ఆలోచించేవాడిని. అండ్ నౌ
బ్యూటిఫుల్ ఐఎమ్ వెరీ హ్యాపీ దట్ ఈ విషయం ఒక సినిమాలో అడ్రస్ అవుతుంది అని ఐఎమ్ వెరీ హ్యాపీ. ఎందుకంటే ఐఎమ్ స్టాంచ్ బిలీవర్ దట్ పీపుల్ చేంజ్. మనుషులు మారిపోతూ ఉంటారు, బట్ మనం అది ఎక్నాలెడ్జ్ చేయడానికి ఇష్టపడం. మనం నేను మారిపోయాను, మార్పు అనేది తప్పు కాదు. కొంతమంది సంవత్సరానికి లాస్ట్ ఇయర్ నాకు అనిపించిన విషయం ఇప్పుడు నాకు అనిపించకపోవచ్చు. ఎందుకంటే ఈ 1 yearలో నా లైఫ్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్సెస్ డైరెక్ట్గా కాకపోయినా ఇండైరెక్ట్గా నా మైండ్ ఫంక్షన్ అయ్యే విధానానికి, నేను ప్రపంచాన్ని చూసే పర్స్పెక్టివ్ అది మారుతుంది కదా. సో జనాలు ఎందుకు మార్పుకి దే ఆర్ వెరీ averse to change. Not everyone, I can't generalize, but there is that notion that people can't change. People change. People change more than we believe.
Correct. కాకపోతే ఏంటంటే లాట్ ఆఫ్ టైమ్స్ ఇట్స్ స్లో ప్రాసెస్ ఒకటి. రెండోది we sometimes know it's a problem. అరే ఇది చేంజ్ అవుతే బాగుంటుంది అని. అండ్ దెర్ ఇస్ ఆల్వేస్ ఎ ఛాన్స్ మనం వీ కెన్ ఫాల్ బ్యాక్ ఇన్ ద సేమ్ దిస్ థింగ్, బట్ దట్స్ ఓకే. ఐ మీన్ వీఆర్ హ్యూమన్స్ రైట్. ఐ మీన్ సో ద టార్గెట్ ఆడియన్స్ ఈస్ లైక్ some person who has committed a crime. Okay, he has his own circumstances why he is dead and all that, but there is a chance for him to come out. And if I reach one person, that's all is my target audience for this film.
Okay.
If it reaches more, I'm quite happy. But let's say if I touch 1, 10, 20, that's all. To them I'm making this film. Meetani commerce and all that. Of course there are so many other elements that other people might like, but a core, as I said,
core, intent,
to whom you are making. I mean, you got to be very clear who is a core target audience, right? And then you have a wider target audience. Wider target audience is like we look at things in so much black and white, and
great space
ledu, and we don't realize how lucky we are, how many how privileged our life is. We don't realize that. See, I'm not, I think maybe like I would have made like 3-4 stupid mistakes, especially, and majority of them, I think, were before 2021, I think. And like all of us.
You say that you made 3 mistakes.
Yeah. 3-4.
TNR గారి ఇంటర్వ్యూ చూడండి, ఇట్స్ అ బ్యూటిఫుల్ ఇంటర్వ్యూ, ఇట్స్ ప్లగ్గింగ్ ఇన్. TNR గారి ఇంటర్వ్యూ చూడండి సార్తో మల్లేశం వచ్చాక, చాలా బాగుంటుంది. యా, అందులో మీరు చెప్పుంటారు some 3 mistakes.
3-4, all of us. And majority of them will be in the teens. I mean, just silly and stupid as whatever is fed to us. And then hormonal things, of course. And let's say like, and we think మనకు ఒక థియరీ ఉంది, అది రైట్, ఇంకొకరు ఆర్ సో రాంగ్. And then we're silly, we fight, and a lot of times there's a physical this thing, right? And how easy it was, కొంచెం ఒక చిన్న mistake, why we could not have been in the prison. పిల్లలు ఎందుకు కొట్టుకుంటారు, టీనేజర్స్ ఎందుకు ఫైట్, ఇప్పుడు రోడ్డు మీద అక్కడిక్కడ చూస్తుంటారు, కొట్టుకుంటూ ఉంటారు, అప్పుడప్పుడు తాగి కొట్టుకుంటారు, అప్పుడప్పుడు లేదా నేను రైట్ నువ్వు రాంగ్ అని కొట్టుకు, వాట్ ఎవర్ దే కెన్, పీపుల్ కెన్ ఫైట్. జస్ట్ వన్ చిన్న యాంగర్లో ఒక్కసారి చేసిన ఒకదానికి, యూ కెన్ స్పెండ్ ద రెస్ట్ ఆఫ్ యువర్ లైఫ్ ఇన్ ప్రిజన్. See, ఒక స్మాల్ పర్సంటేజ్ ఆర్ వెరీ డిఫికల్ట్ టు, ఐ మీన్ అది ఇంకా ఎక్స్ట్రీమ్ narcissistic and extreme psychotic, right? I mean, those also maybe the science will evolve to understand and how they function. So it's so difficult, right? Chana custom a percentage of the time, because I mean last 2-3 years, I mean that's all I've been studying. Neurosciences and how crime happens, why it happens. See, you can't do film on serious subjects without doing research. You have to do so much of research, because don't do a film. My thing is, I'm not saying I'm doing the best or something. Success failure man cheyatile untadi, but the effort has to be there. And so much of material is there, so many books are there, so many people who have done research in it. You got to meet, you got to take some time. Other comedy and all, it's okay, right? I mean, we just do it and it works. But కొంచెం sensitive topics, you got to give attention to it.
అంటే మోర్ దెన్ ఎనీథింగ్, మీరు ఎక్కువ నేర్చుకుని దాని గురించి ఎక్కువ రీసెర్చ్ చేస్తే మీ సినిమాలో కూడా డ్రామా పెరిగే ఛాన్సెస్ ఎక్కువ ఉంటాయి కదా.
Of course it స్టోరీ టెల్లింగ్ కూడా. అండ్ కానీ ఇంకొంచెం ఇట్లాంటివి వాటికి ఏంటంటే కొంచెం ఎక్కువ కేర్ఫుల్ ఉండవు. ఎందుకంటే you'll be doing a lot of disservice to some things. Correct, if it doesn't come out properly. So we are so lucky. అప్పుడు ఏముంటాయి టీనేజర్ టైంలో, నేను చేసింది కరెక్ట్, నా ఐడియాలజీ కరెక్ట్, and I can go to any extent for any physical violence as well. ఏదో జరిగిపోతుంది కదా ఆ టైంలో, చిన్న మిస్టేక్. Let's say, I mean, how costly would it have been? Let's say you're in prison, let's say.
లైఫ్ పోయినట్టే కదా. ఇట్స్ నాట్ అబౌట్ టైమ్ ఆల్సో. లైక్ 1 year ప్రిజన్కి వెళ్ళి బయటకు వచ్చేస్తే యూ కాంట్ be the same person.
So many things completely. There would have been a path, completely a diversion.
Branches, the timeline branch out అయినట్టు.
Why it could not have happened to us?
So దీనికి ఏంటి రీసెర్చ్, వేటి గురించి?
How, I mean, now let's say there's a crime, why it happens?
Okay.
Why crime happens, right?
You mean from a psychological point of view?
Society, how we do it, what are the circumstances? And then happen. Now someone is in prison. Now what are the next steps? So many people have done so much of research in other parts of the country, and so many people are still doing the research. So is there a chance? Yeah, I mean, there is a chance, but is it difficult? Yeah, of course they can go back again. They'll become fine. Then again, the circumstances are so, they'll again go into the crime. But now I don't judge them so much. As I'm like I could be just one of them. I'm so grateful and thankful. I just got lucky.
Yeah.
And I had good environment, which probably didn't push me towards that.
Guidance, yeah.
Just luck. Lot of times we don't even realize how privileged we are.
Yeah. Adi nijam.
So that's the target audience. And there's a sweet love story and all that, and it's and the actors have done terrific job. I mean, with the films, especially this one, this is more than what I can chew. So earlier it was like limited locations, limited actors. Malaysian had like so many, like 30-40 new technicians and actors came out of it. 8am had very limited, but brilliant actors, right? I mean, didn't have to do much. But this one was much more than what I can chew. Chana nenu anukunna na capability anta in terms of మనకు ఒక ఎంత చేతన అవుతుంది అనేది ఒకటి ఇది ఉంటుంది కదా, లైక్ ఇన్ టర్మ్స్ ఆఫ్ హౌ మెనీ యాక్టర్స్ యూ కెన్ మేనేజ్. ఎవ్రీ డే దెర్ ఆర్ 2-3 యాక్టర్స్ ఎవ్రీ డే, అండ్ ఎవ్రీ డే ద టెన్షన్. వీళ్ళు ఏం చేస్తారు, చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ సీన్స్, వీళ్ళందరూ ఇప్పుడు కొత్త పిల్లలు వాళ్ళంతా హౌ బ్రిలియంట్లీ దే హ్యావ్ డన్. అసలు ఐఎమ్ సో హ్యాపీ. సో ఇప్పుడు లాట్ ఆఫ్ ద టైమ్స్ it's a natural thing also, and ఒక opinion ఉంటుంది based on how film does, then the opinion can change. వీళ్ళు అసలు బాగా చేయలేదంట అని ఫ్లాప్ అయిన తర్వాత then say horrible actors or whatever, right? And if the film succeeds, everyone is happy. Everyone like, the director is the best director. These actors are the
we
best.
operate in extremities.
And the results lot of times influence also the thoughts, right?
Hit అయిపోతే it's automatically you are meant to believe that okay, this might be actually a good
Correct.
Yeah.
So for me, irrespective of how this film does, the crew who supported me, brilliant job, and the actors, so I mean asalu when I was watching them ఆ టెన్షన్ అయితే ఉండేది, బికాస్ దీస్ ఆర్ వీళ్ళు ఏం చేయగలుగుతారో దానికన్నా చాలా పెద్ద రోల్స్. అంత ఈజీ కాదు. ఇప్పుడు ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ బ్రిలియంట్ యాక్టర్స్ లైక్ మనోజ్ వాజ్పేయి ఉంటారు. దెర్ ఆర్ రోల్స్ దట్ దే కెన్ డూ, ఇక్కడ ఉంటే దే కెన్ టేక్ ఇట్ టు ద నెక్స్ట్ లెవెల్, రైట్? ఇట్స్ సచ్ ఎ యూనిక్ స్కిల్. ఇక్కడ వరకు ఇక్కడ చేయడమే కష్టం, దీన్ని వీళ్ళు దే కెన్ టేక్ ఇట్, ఓన్ ఇట్, అండ్ దెన్ దే విల్ టేక్ ఇట్ హియర్. ఇప్పుడు ఇట్లాంటి రోల్ని నేను ఒక కొత్త అబ్బాయికి ఇచ్చిన, ఇట్ విల్ లుక్ హారిబుల్ because it's way beyond what the range is. They will become that, but it takes time, right? Manoj Vajpayee didn't become Manoj Vajpayee.
He didn't start out as Manoj Vajpayee. He became Manoj Vajpayee.
Like how much of ఇక్కడ ఒక మెట్టు వేసేసుకొని వెళ్ళాడు. ఇప్పుడు ఈ పిల్లలకి ఇక్కడ ఉన్న వాళ్ళకి ఇది చేస్తే ఇట్స్ ఎ వెరీ అన్ఫేర్ థింగ్ దే వాట్ ఐ డిడ్ టు దెమ్, బట్ ఐ జస్ట్ గాట్ లక్కీ ఇన్ హౌ దే డిడ్. ఇది జస్ట్ యాక్టర్స్ కరెక్ట్గా దొరకడము, ఇట్స్ జస్ట్ అ లక్ థింగ్.
Nice.
So very, very happy with how the film turned out.
So it's done?
It's done.
Sound given, everything?
Everything is done.
You're ready for release?
Like release is at the mercy of when the theaters will get. అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఫైనల్, ఇప్పుడు కొన్ని సాంగ్స్ ఇంకా ఫైనల్ సాంగ్స్ పాడించాలి, ఇట్లాంటి వర్క్ ఈ పోస్ట్ ప్రొడక్షన్ది ఎవ్రీ డే రిలీజ్ వరకు ఏదో ఒకటైతే ఉంటుంది ఆ స్ట్రెస్. But I would say 70-80%, and it's in there. I like it. I like the product, and most of the times that's what is important. How you feel. See, ఇప్పుడు there is so much of difference. ఇప్పుడు for example, someone can see this interview and say, I did not feel what this guy, how he felt. Difference ఎందుకు వస్తుంది అని అంటే, ఇప్పుడు మనం రాసుకున్నప్పుడు ఇప్పుడు నాకు ఒక ఇమాజినేషన్ ఉంటుంది, ఓకే ఇట్లా రాసుకున్నాం మనం, అండ్ ఇన్ మై ఫిల్మ్ ద థింగ్ ఈస్, the biggest problem I have is how to give the credit. Okay, ఏంటంటే ఎవ్రీవన్ డస్ 2 or 3 different things in the film, and the same team I continue.
Okay.
For example, my EP is not GP. He does a lot of the script writing, he does a lot of the casting.
This is Venkat garu.
So now how can I give one credit? Music composer starts with the script, and then he offers, no, in the song you have to direct it like this. And my team, everyone, they put, every person brings 2 or 3 different things into the film. So tough to give the credit because there's so many different things. And now the dialogue writer, officially I just say a dialogue writer, but he contributed so much to the script to make it better, and so many incidents. So that's the biggest problem I have to give like 4 or 5 credits. So it's just luck, right? And then the trust in the team from the beginning, it's very same team.
Yeah.
So they go out of the way to help me out a little bit. So that's the advantage I have.
వర్క్ ని వర్క్ లాగా ట్రీట్ చేసే వాళ్ళతో ఇది జరగదు. బియాండ్
అసలు అంటే వాళ్ళు హార్ట్తో అసలు ఫుల్ ఇంకా నేను ఇస్తాను అంటే తప్ప జరగదు. కాకపోతే ఇప్పుడు వేర్ ద మిస్ మ్యాచెస్, ఇప్పుడు ఐ సెడ్ ఐఎమ్ వెరీ హ్యాపీ విత్ ద థింగ్, రైట్, ప్రోడక్ట్. డిఫరెన్స్ ఎక్కడ వస్తుంది అని అంటే, ఇప్పుడు నేను రాసుకున్నప్పుడు ఐ హ్యావ్ సమ్ ఇమాజినేషన్, రైట్, అండ్ దెన్ ఐ నో దట్ ఓకే మన దగ్గర ఇన్నే డబ్బులు ఉన్నాయి, ఓకే దట్స్ ద లిమిటేషన్, అండ్ ఐ నెరేటెడ్ ఇట్ టు సో మెనీ యాక్టర్స్. ఎందుకంటే రోల్స్ అవి చెప్పాను కదా, ద న్యూ గైస్ ఇట్స్ వాళ్ళు ఇక్కడ ఉన్నాయి ఆ రోల్స్. సో unfair to give them the roles. So we have to find the right people who can pull it. So వాళ్ళని 6 months 1 year కంటిన్యూస్గా బతిమలాడుతూ ప్లీజ్ మీరు చేయాలి అది ఇది. So none of them agreed to it. So I didn't have an option.
These are all like known faces,
and then who can act well. Tamil actor also I went. తమిళ్ ఇక్కడ ఫస్ట్ తెలుగు కొంచెం ట్రై చేసిన తర్వాత తమిళ్ సరే ఇంకా డైలాగ్స్ నేర్పిద్దాము లాంగ్వేజ్, బికాస్ నాకు దే హ్యావ్ టు స్పీక్ ద లాంగ్వేజ్. సి వేర్ దే కమ్ ఐ డోంట్ కేర్, దే కెన్ కమ్ ఫ్రమ్ తమిళ్, దే కెన్ గో. సి వెన్ ఐ వెంట్ అండ్ మేడ్ ఎ తమిళ్ ఫిల్మ్, వై ద తమిళ్ యాక్టర్ షుడ్ నాట్ కమ్ ఇన్ టు తెలుగు? బట్ మై రూల్ ఈస్ దే హ్యావ్ టు స్పీక్ తెలుగు, దే హ్యావ్ టు లెర్న్. I mean, and it's not doing a favor for anyone, right? It's an advantage for them. It opens up a new industry,
avenue of opportunities. Yeah,
that effort an actor has to put, that's their job. ఎవరి కోసమో కాదు కదా, సో ఐ థాట్ ఓకే I'll take that risk also, take an actor, and then he liked it and he said bring a banner, and I'm like I don't have one. So then I started, but I just got like, so ఇప్పుడు ఓకే మేమన్నా రాసుకున్నాం ఇంత ఉంది, మనకు బడ్జెట్ ఎంత ఉంది, సరే అందరు కొత్త వాళ్ళే వచ్చారు, ఇప్పుడు ఇది సిచ్యువేషన్, దీంతో మనకు ఒక ఇమాజినేషన్ ఇంత ఉంటుంది అనేది ఒకటి వస్తుంది. But the final thing, what has come out, is much bigger than what I imagined. So that's why I say like this is like so much more than what I expected.
But జనాలు ఏం ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ చేసి వస్తారు,
జనాలకి కంప్లీట్లీ వేరు కదా. See, జనాలకి అసలు they don't have another comparison. ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ ఉంది, they can say oh I hate the film, I like it, average. Any which way they are looking at it, they are correct. See, no, this is what I'm saying, like once you read more and more books, the first thing you learn is they are correct from their point of view.
Okay.
Why they are correct from their point of view? They don't have looking at like what your problems are, what you started out as. And they don't have to. They'll just look at whatever they have. And then there is another audience, they'll be like, oh my god, like I can identify with this, then he will like it more. So each whatever their viewing experiences will be, that's the difference. But most importantly, I mean, you have a reference, and then something when it's better than that, and then you feel happy about it, right? And my opinion about the actors and how much of hard work the crew, that's not going to change if it's a utter flop. Let's say tomorrow no one watches it, my opinion is exactly the same. I'll thank my actors and say, and if and there's nothing wrong. Let's say if I would have said no, this particular actor was horrible, I'm just saying, have an opinion when you're doing it, and then after the film also have the same thing. There is nothing wrong in it. because you might be wrong in the opinion, but at least you're consistent.
Yeah.
So
You're not changing your opinion based on
the
outcome.
how many people have watched it or so. That's I think at least even if you're wrong, you have to be at least consistent.
Yeah, that's unfair to everyone. That's unfair to yourself.
Correct.
If you change your opinion based on the outcome of something.
So the actors, why you so that's the job of a director. It's not to teach the acting, right? To make them comfortable. Okay, indie films will have their own problems, right? They have to work extremely hard because I mean, what to do? Let's say I'll give you a fair this thing, right? Now I want an office thing, and out of favor, you say, Raj, I know you have less budget and all. Okay, for a very small amount, I'll give it to you for 2 hours. After this, I have to run this restaurant. So I'll have the guilt that, hey, I'm taking this favor. I gave my word here. So I have to complete this in 2 hours. Now, this will translate, the stress that I am taking now will translate to the stress on the actors, obviously. But that's what is professional actors, right? See, amateur actors is, you're not taking any money and you're not taking it as a job. You'll just do how much ever you can. So you can do it at a comfort level. On this date, my drama will be there, my theater, you come and watch it. So that's hard work is there. But you can do it on your own terms. Professional actors, this 2 hours you have to deliver. It's like cricket. I'll just play for my own hobby or something. And then this professional cricketer says, yesterday he would have had a niggle, shoulder something or something. Still, but he's there now.
Yeah.
The pitch is some issue, the rain comes, whatever. That's what is the professional this thing, right? Whether you're starting it or not, the actor has to do all that. They have to read the script multiple times. They have to prepare these things. Providing a safe environment is my job. Let's say an actress is there. She will not have any nonsense that maybe some of the early actresses will face somewhere else in some other set. Those things,
it's your responsibility.
It's my responsibility to create a safe environment. Right? But the other things, that stress I will give it to them. Hey, that's their job. Before the shoot, it's like cricket match. Those guys will be practicing in the nets and all. Why? They have to. That's their job. They're professionals. The actors also are like that. They have to do that. They have to be prepared with their lines. And I'm available 24/7 to answer these questions.
Okay.
I'm giving you this in advance. You read it. Now tell me what you don't understand or how you want to make it better. All the like it's just like a coach, right? The coach and the cricketer are practicing. I'll tell you this is what I want or not. When it comes to performing, you come and perform every single time, every single take. Because there are limitations for small filmmaker, right? I have begged someone else. And I don't have a lot of luxury to say like, it's okay. I'll take this for like 10 days. No, I don't. So they have to come, they have to perform. Whether you're first time, second time, or else don't come into this field, right? I mean, who is forcing you? It's a difficult thing. Professional cricket is different thing. Right? But who is forcing all these young cricketers to play in IPL and all that? It's hard, we all know. No one is forcing them, right?
They are pursuing it themselves.
They want that. They like that. So the hard work has to go match that. So I got lucky with the actors, but I personally think we are, again, someone might criticize me again later, but the fact is, the commercial ones, we are making good films where it's reaching the pan-India and all that. But for the content-based things, I mean, Malayalam is doing extremely well. And I don't think it has like this competition thing and all. We just have to learn and see where they are getting it right. Why every actor is performing? Because they have other role models before them. That gives the confidence. Right? Hurry, this guy is just like me. Very average in looks, very average in everything, performing extraordinarily in front of the camera. I can do the same thing. So we got to learn, right? I mean, if we say no, if we argue no, ours is better than that. I mean, we never learn.
We make more money. That's not the point at all.
And there we, that section, let's say we are making good films which are making money, very good. That's such a separate segment, right? But this also, we have to compete.
Yeah.
And we have to say like, oh, we will learn some things from you. Where are you getting it right? Oh, your casting is amazing for these things. Oh, as a filmmaker, I'll watch a lot of the Malayalam films. I love them. I mean, they're so, commercial films have their place, and we are doing good. Let's continue to make them good, right? But these other films too, slightly content based, we have so much to learn.
Yeah, we do.
The filmmaking style, the hard work that they put in, the actors, the dedication, right? So we learn all of that, and we have to compete with them, right? And there is no shame in saying, oh, they are better than us. As of now, right?
Yeah.
When we learn, the idea is to become like that.
I want to know this. So you made 4 films so far. You're coming up with your 5th film, and you say that you didn't make much money from the 4 films.
Oh, last film was a disaster. I did,
8 a.m.
I did not want to do this film. I thought at least I'll take a few years break.
Yeah, so why do you keep coming back to something that isn't rewarding you? Is my question.
But this, see, frankly, after 8 a.m., I did not have an idea. So, and because of the financial thing, I said, I think I have to stop here. Or at least it has to be some time where, again, I save a little bit of money. And I have to forget that, right? I mean, a lot of times it takes some time to forget the previous one, right? And then it will become a distant memory. Yeah, it's okay, we lost something in there. Let's start again. But you need a little bit of time to come out of it.
Is still fresh in your
It's almost like recently, right? I've been struggling to get here and there, get it. Nowhere I was successful. So you need some time to come out of it. But at that time, immediately you'll feel like, oh, no, I'm not making another. So it's a natural reaction, right? Oh, this is not working out, so let's stop. Or that's one thing. But second thing, I did not have an idea. There were like sometimes 2-3 ideas will be there, small synopsis, treatments you keep saying, but nothing that excites you, right? But this thing came, and this was a very coincidental thing. A friend of mine came and said, oh, I met this film journalist. He narrated this incident based on true events. Looked at it and said, it's a nice one, but this doesn't work because it doesn't have a climax.
Okay.
And then you can't believe on the same night, another friend calls me and says, you know what, Raj, someone wants to do it on this and they suggested your name. I suggested your name to them. Are you interested? I said like, no, that's not. It's a very interesting one, but it doesn't, I mean, a film has to have, the idea has to have, I'm not saying strictly by this first act, second act, third act, but any film.
Some form,
right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is what happens, this is something, and this is how the resolution, on a very high level, right? Or else, what's the point, right?
Yeah.
So I said, then in the night, I said, oh, mix these two, there is an idea.
Okay.
So the idea will make you change your own opinions, right? And you say like, oh, I don't want to make one, but when the idea is
driving you,
idea will drive you to reverse your previous opinion, and it will give you so much of energy.
No, my question is, why do you love movies so much, and why do you love filmmaking so much?
Frankly, I'm okay not making it either, but once the idea comes, right?
Okay.
From that time, I go into that, no, I have to make it more. But otherwise, I'm not that way. I'm not like, oh, I have to kind of thing.
No, but the medium, if it's an idea, you can write about it, right? You can do a podcast about it. You can write an essay about it. But filmmaking is hard, and you know that. So why exactly this medium, and why are you fascinated with this medium is what I'm trying to understand.
But for example, 8 a.m. when we were going through, and in life, right? No one is immune to sadness.
Nobody is, yeah.
It's just different phases. And even when you're saying, oh, you're cruising through life, something hits you where it'll almost break you. But then time and something else heals you, and then you. So that particular one, when Venkat narrated, oh wow, the idea is in a film shape. It's not in any other shape.
Okay. You can imagine the idea only as a film, not as a book. Is a book.
Correct. Yeah. And the other ways to express it, I don't have that experience either. For example, like a podcast or frankly, now for the film, I have to get some exposure to the film, and it's my job whether I like it or not, right? Given a chance, I would not come in front of the camera ever. And social media, camera, this is the last thing I want to do. Because actors are supposed to be in front of the camera. And the introvert guys, no, I'm not saying directors should not come.
But it's a personal preference at
personal
the end
preference.
Of the day.
But the introverts generally have to be left alone. Let these guys sit somewhere, have tea. But these days you can't. A film has come. You got to know when you said, "Oh, Raj," I'm like, "Oh, I would love to because I have to get the film out there." And it's not about what I like to do. It's my job now, right? It's not about me anymore, right? There are this film introduces almost 30 actors. Can you believe that?
Wow.
30 actors, and each actor you'll remember them. See, Malaysian, I'll give you an example. Darshi is there. He was also relatively not that known then, right? He'll have some comic, F2 is there, Venkatesh and all. And then Darshi will be there. Face.
Yeah.
But the role-wise, can he do a whole length, a full film? We don't know, right? And then there were 2 actors next to them. Okay? Just got lucky with those actors. Jagdish did Pushpa after that. Sukumar liked him, he casted him in Pushpa. Who would have believed it? Generally, the way that characters are written, their characters are shown, it's only one hero and actress, and sometimes you don't even remember who all were there in the film.
Yeah.
True. That out of all my strengths, which could be very average, but one thing that sets my style from elsewhere is, except maybe 1 or 2 where I want to do, where I'm not getting anything to elevate them. Every character will register, and that is the reason. The first thing is, I respect them on paper. I respect them when they come and do
Perform.
it. For me, it's not like, oh, my hero is there and some guy, okay, you can just come and go or whatever. And that translates to their character
being important.
And to tell them too, right? You might be thinking, like everyone else, oh, it's a great role, but it's just 1 day or half a day. It's not that way. You just read it. This will be registered, believe me.
What's the point of doing, for an actor, shooting a film for 30 days or 40 days and you're just standing there, not even being registered by the audience? What's the point?
Yeah.
As opposed to that, the most recent example is Harsha Chemudu in Month of Moodu. He apparently shot just for a day and a half, and his scenes are just amazing, and he was everywhere. Those scenes were everywhere after the film came out, and he just shot for 1.5 days.
But I understand when actors don't believe it either, because every lot of the filmmakers tell them, right? Oh, your role is that, this and all that.
Overselling.
But actually I don't do it. But I don't blame them if they think that way, right? So Kalpika's role, Kalpika shot only for 1.5 day in 8 a.m.
Oh. Okay.
And I said, it will be registered. And she's like, yeah. I mean, and she's been there for 10, 12 years or whatever years, right? So many people will say that. So that's what I'm saying. It's not just the hero, heroine. So every character, they're important on paper. And when you meet them, you give whether they're known, unknown, fresh, new, doesn't matter. You give them the respect. And say you are the main person in this scene. You tell them. And then everything else is their thing, right? You create the environment, and then they have to seize it and say, oh yeah, this guy is not lying. This is an important character, and I'll do it. And the rest is completely them. I just got lucky, as I said, in this one too. So as I said, now coming back to pushing the film and all that. Whether I'm an introvert, I don't like social media, I don't like to talk much in front of the camera and all. These are my personal things. But it's my job now. So there are 30, 40 actors. If the film is seen by a few people, their careers will be made. And the crew, how much of effort they put. There's so much involved in it. Not the money, just not the money, right? There's so many else. Hard work is involved. And it's my job to see that it reaches at least the target audience, right? Beyond that, that's a bonus. At least whatever the audience that we thought it should reach, at least that reaches, and their hard work is rewarded. They get more roles.
So you produced this film as well?
Yeah.
Once again. So...
And I approached a lot. And one producer was a nice one. He said he'll do it. But we were waiting for actors. And one of the actors waited for like 2 months to narrate it. And then...
So he made you wait 2 months to listen to a narration?
No. This gentleman was very nice, the producer.
No, the actor, I mean.
The actor was like yeah, it was 2 months.
Okay.
And then see, if an actor, if it takes 2 months, then he was shooting like 3 or 4. And it's not Darshi, my friends and all that. Darshi wanted to do this film, but he was busy. So he told Raj, I'm making like 6 films. So it will be 6 months or so. And, but then I said, I can't have a part-time actor. Let's say another film and a little bit here. This film is not that way.
Okay.
And he has to carry the film throughout. So there are some roles sometimes, right? Like, easily come, do it.
Come shoot for a day.
So there are nothing wrong in it. There are some other roles where they can multitask. But these kind of films, you cannot multitask.
Right.
You, from start to finish, that's the only thing you have to think and complete it. Or else that's why you see some films where one schedule and then you don't get the days, another schedule. And then finally when you watch it, there are inconsistencies in the makeup and so many things and very disjointed look it will have.
Yeah.
So I can't have that for this film. Maybe another film, there is a possibility to do it that way. But not this one. This one, they committed till end. They have to stick to it every day. It depends on the character. Right?
So you ended up producing
I did.
the film. Why is it so hard to make an indie film?
After pandemic, it's becoming possible.
Impossible.
I don't think there
you
is
can
a
make
space.
a Malaysian.
No, I don't think
You
so.
can't.
I can't. And indie films will be less and less in the future. It'll be more studios, more famous producers who have access to the OTTs, or OTT funded, or banner funded ones. It's a reality. We can't crib about anything. We just have to accept things how they are, accept, adapt, and move on.
Do you think the audience have a stake in it?
The audience definitely there is, but there's so much content out there. So see, 8 AM, as I said, even if it took 2 years to reach the internet audience.
1 second. Mic okay na?
Yeah. See the audience. See, there is always a section of audience. They would love the indie filmmakers to succeed, right? And because of them, the film will reach the intended audience, but probably not in theaters. So these people, they post online and all, hey, it's a nice film, you have to watch it and all that. And just because of those people, indie films survive. But they don't have the power to bring the audience to the theaters. So let's say if it's on YouTube or somewhere free or somewhere MX Player or something else, then they can direct, like each one can do into 10, into 100 and all that. And then eventually the target audience will see the film, if the film is good. But to bring to the theaters, I think not much can be done.
I have a feeling these people who post on online, they themselves don't go to the theaters. I'm very curious of this.
I don't blame them, for the reason is there's so much of content. There is a backlog of content.
Yeah. Hundreds and hundreds of movies, shows.
So when will you watch all that, and then when will you come to the theater? So the stars have their own loyal following, right? And then they have the media to hype it up as well. Like, oh, if you don't watch it in theater,
it's an ecosystem that functions to
so that sustains. But here, I mean, after 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, I mean, it's gone, right? It's just stuff.
But doesn't it anger you? Doesn't it make you feel sad?
No, I accept it.
When did you accept that? I'm assuming at least the acceptance must have been at least a bit, what do you call, hard to digest.
It is, especially, I mean, see, if you lose 50%, sometimes you can, it's easy. What if you lose 100%? It's so tough to fight back. And that's what happened with 8am. 100%.
Malaysian?
The Malaysian was like, I lost maybe like 20-30%, 30% maybe.
It was still manageable. Yeah.
There is a limit where how much you can lose. Right? 100% becomes very difficult to make another film. But it's okay. I'm not bitter, because as I said, and maybe that's like, it's, I don't know if it's just to make ourselves happy or something. You reduce your target audience. Say, oh, this much is good enough. So you try to lower the expectations, right? And then, okay, this many people watch it, that's good enough. Let's give it a shot. And this could be the last shot, but let's try one more. But it's generally the idea, right? The idea will make you do it. Even when logic says, no, let's not. There is a reality. These kind of small films can't be done, especially when you bring your own money, you save it, you try it and all that. But then when the idea is stronger, it defies all the logic, and then you go and do it. But even now, I mean, 1% or 2% of the films can succeed still.
The indie ones.
Indie ones. So that's the hope. Maybe like all the other indie filmmakers try to make it. It's tough times. Yeah. I don't have any bitterness. But see, for example, 8am. Let's say you lost 100% of the money, let's just say, right? And then imagine another situation where no one has watched it either.
My God, that
would be even
terrible
worse.
State for anyone to be in.
Correct. So at least I can console myself that, at least I reached some target
at
audience.
Least people know it, people have seen it. Yeah.
So that maybe that's a way, I don't know, there's a way to console myself or not, I don't know. But there is no bitterness. It's I accept it, and of course there could be flaws, and
no, I'm not talking about the quality at all, because I'm not getting into the merits and demerits of indie film. Every film has its own merits and I'm just saying, how do we make people at least, like, how do we ensure that people at least know about an indie film if it's coming out? That was the thing. And in your case, I think 8am got the traction eventually. Now I still keep seeing people talking about 8am Metro on Twitter, Insta Reels that they keep popping up. So at least it's good. And somebody told me that it was on YouTube, and I went and I checked on YouTube. It had 4 million views. So that's good. That's really good. And coming back to indie thing, you are based out of US, right? Where in US?
Dallas.
So I hear that there is this Indian filmmaking community that is emerging in the US.
See, they're not serious.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not saying again. See, a lot of times the problem is you intend to say something and then it comes across as completely different, right? What I meant is, see, let's say some of my friends make short films and all that, right? And somewhere you got to get started. They'll hire a cinematographer and all that stuff. And and then everyone is most of the times volunteer, right? They have a job and then they sometimes do it. And the actors are also like that.
Yeah.
So on the weekends they go and spend a little bit time. And then someone can't come one weekend. How can a film be made like that, right? So difficult. So the funny part is, a few of my friends started a group called Dallas Movie Buffs. And the way that they met is, they set up like 10, 15 people. The way that they met is, they wanted to make a short film. They started it. For 1 year or 2 years, they made it. So they did not complete the film. The short film, they did not complete it. Halfway or somewhere, something happened between the actor, actresses. So I don't know what all. Like for bigger films, what are the problems? The same problems are for short films too.
Even more.
And they didn't make the film, but they were very good friends and all that. And now they have a good.
It's cute actually.
At least they formed a group because of their experience. They laugh about it. So that's the problem. Yeah, I mean, it needs that dedication and this thing. Yeah, a lot of people want to make it, but for example, from September or something, I've not been working full time on this, right?
September 24.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you take a leave.
I mean, I like contracting gigs. So once it ends, and say, oh, now I think I can.
You have breathing space.
Let's make it. So how many people can take off like 1 year?
Can afford that? They can't. Not many can do that.
I also can't make it, so that's why I have to just push this as soon as. So my current distributors are, why do you push it? And I'm like, no, I have to find a job. so that those are the limitations. So that's why I. But maybe it will improve.
So your family is still there?
Family is still there. Okay. I'll just rush this, somehow release it, and then I have to find a job and get back to life.
Let's say this movie makes money. Let's say. Are you like ever willing to move back to India as a full-time filmmaker if you have the choice and the luxury to do that?
Probably not, because then there will be a pressure of immediately making another film. Which I'm not trying to be humble here, but I got more credit than what I deserve, right? So I'm happy. So this 23, it will reach the intended audience. I mean,
23? Mute again.
So I don't have any doubts about it. But the next one might not work, because again all the variables will be there. How the story will be there, how the crew will come along, how the actors, no one can predict it. But at least I don't want to rush it. Let the idea come, let the idea drive me, let the idea make me do the film rather than me making it. So but let's say if at all if that's decent, first I want to do one for someone from the crew. It's not just about me all the time. It's about, I mean, if 8 AM would have made some money, I would have definitely made one for someone from the crew. Because if you just say, all of them helped and all that, that's a nice way of acknowledging it. But the right acknowledgement is, I mean, you again help them to do their film. But the tricky part again is the script, right? Again, their thing has to interest you, because as I said, the idea has to bring the energy. You're out of the energy, right? After a film, you didn't sleep for a year. Like 2 hours, 3 hours sleep you have to sustain for so many days. It's so difficult.
But you love doing that?
Yeah, I mean, there is no other option, right? For indie films, tomorrow you go to the location guy says he'll not give.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is, my whole point is, you're willing to take all
the idea will make you do that
because you love it.
The idea,
whatever you're.
The idea will make you do that.
Yeah. if you're treating it like job or a project or a 6-month
can do
project, you wouldn't be able to do that. You won't do that.
Correct.
You won't like go through the
Humanly not possible.
hustle. Yeah. So how's your life like when you're not making movies in India?
Oh, very, very relaxed and then, but I put that effort in the work that I do. So I don't. I mean, even if it's night or something, I just want to complete it because I said I'll give it a particular time. I have to do that. So that problem is there for me.
So you detach yourself from movies until that idea strikes you.
Correct. I mean, I have no. I mean, hardly have 4 or 5 friends, and once a month or something that I meet. For a week or 10 days, I don't get out of the house.
Okay.
Just the family, me, films, watching films, and all that. That's all is the life. And there's no social media, nothing. So completely detached from films or anything. Lucky to get some idea here and there.
It's almost like you are leading, what do you call, double life.
I would say that.
That there it's completely different. Here it's completely. When you're here, you're not thinking about your work.
Absolutely nothing.
How much money you're going to make. Nothing. You're just focused on.
Just morning.
That's beautiful.
Start only that thing and nothing else.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
There's absolutely not one other thought. Morning and 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, let's say there's a backup. Then I go back to the writing again. So Venkat and the dialogue writer Indus, they help me again to make tomorrow's thing. So tomorrow's, all the logistics and everything I have to plan. Plus, what can I do to make it better? And that goes till 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Then 6 o'clock, I have to be on the set because you even though you know that, okay, how much ever you drive, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, it will happen, right? But still you have to be at 6 a.m. How much ever you do, whether you sleep for 1 hour, 2 hours, because if you come at again 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, then again everyone, the crew will be lazy, then it will start at like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. So at least if you're at 6, at least it will start at 8 or 9. So you got to lead. So it's difficult, but as I said, sometimes the ideas make you do that.
Crazy. So financially you're secure, no?
Not that secure. I have to. I mean, it's difficult to have a very secure life in US, right? Because it's always you have to work for various reasons, right? Like the health insurance and mortgages and all. These general things will be there. So mine is not an exception.
I find it crazy that I'm not sure you haven't used the word passion yet. And I know that passion is, that word is exploited like left, right and center. But what I'm saying is, without passion you wouldn't be doing this, is what I feel.
The idea is what I would say. The idea drives it.
Really?
Idea drives it.
It's not the fascination for the medium.
No.
Okay.
No. It's just the idea.
Okay. Do you have filmmaking heroes? Because I'm trying to understand what actually, beyond the idea, obviously there is this idea that compels you, that motivates you to take a break from the US, spend a few months, maybe
1 year, 2 years at least.
A year or two here, put your finances at stake. I have a feeling it has to be something more than an idea.
No, frankly, I mean, for me at least, this is it.
So, filmmaking comes second to you.
Second.
It's the idea.
Idea.
Okay. Do you have filmmaking heroes?
I mean, see, till my generation, right? Maniratnam was always the standard. And then, of course, the starting Ram Gopal Varma films, that changed everything. And then Malayalam. So Malayalam, our guys probably discovered now, but from 2000 and all that, I love, because I got, even in 2006-07, when I made the Tamil film, the director was Jairaj sir. So I did not formally learn from him, but lot of the way that I make film is indirectly the way that he did.
In sync with their style, yeah.
So Jairaj sir won already a lot of national awards till then. And he'll be a very humble guy, knows how to respect the cast crew. So, and then he doesn't complicate the setups. He doesn't complicate things. Very straightforward. Whatever is the simplest way, he'll make it. So, it's not that I literally copied everything from him, but I think unconsciously I picked some absorbed from something from him.
Okay.
So, and then of course all the luckily when I went to US, I had access to the public libraries where I could watch everything then, right? So Kurosawa, like all the Japanese ones, I exhausted it. Then all the Korean was just starting out, 2003-4 when the old boy came. Oh, that took it to a different level, the thriller part of it. And all the Iranian films, I mean, how much simple films, simple ones. The film could be just about two kids who go to school, and how about the shoes and all that. And that had a lot of influence, I would say, the Iranian, and then Malayalam. Tamil was during those 2005, 6 and all that, a lot of Tamil
filmmakers came up, right? Like Murugadas,
Cheran before that, even the Cheran and all that.
Cheran, Autograph.
Even Autograph, there was another film with the parents and all that.
Oh, yeah. That 3.5 hour long film.
So Tamil was doing really well.
Not able to recall that film, but
so Cheran was there, and of course Bala and all, they were doing all the popular ones. But even like slightly offbeat kind of thing, these guys were doing it. Tamil was doing well, really well at the time. And then Malayalam picked up like phenomenally well.
2011, 12.
And of course all the old race films, right? Like for example, even 8 a.m. unconsciously, if you look at it, race, this film, oh my goodness, I'm becoming so old, I'm not remembering. Charulata, right? It definitely has resemblances. Not exactly, but on a high level if you look at it.
Right.
He did it in
54 or?
No, maybe later, but 60, still later could be, but still so 60. Much ahead of its time.
Yeah.
So it's not that I would have watched it and said, okay, this one I will copy it that way. But of course, all of this will have influences, right? So like this, I mean, of course, Spielberg and all those people, and Roberto Benigni and all these people, like very simple films, and Rishida type of filmmakers, simple, our kind of stories. I like those filmmakers.
Superb. So we'll catch up closer to the film's release once again, and we'll talk about that film specifically. This was more about you. I really hope you get more and more ideas that keep trying. Is it like one idea at a time?
No, I work on like 2-3, but then I have to realize after 2-3 months that it's not a bad idea, but it's not brilliant that you got to waste 1 or 2 years of your life. That energy you'll not get. Initially you don't even know how good or bad, right? You spend time, refine it. 6 months or something, you'll have an idea of, you still have the same enthusiasm, same drive. Then it has, and of course the feedback, right? You should have a nice set of friends who, as I said, I just got lucky with this group that I have, the crew and the cast. Even the cast, right, the previous films, they read it and they tell me, I think there is a potential. As I said, so that's just the process that I follow. And if it's encouraging, and if I feel the same way after 6 months, 1 year, then it's worth pursuing it.
So I hope you get those ideas that you find are worth spending your time and going through the hustle. I really hope you get those ideas more and more and more. Thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you so much.
Lovely meeting you.
Lovely talking to you, and thanks a lot for inviting in this opportunity. Thank you so much.
I loved listening to you, and we will definitely do another interview closer to the film's release. All the very best. I am very excited to see the film.
Thank you so much.
Holidays nale adu namma GT Holidays da, South India's #1 travel brand.
Taste the Daily.